everyone, it's Lane Hauk, and I'm going to share with you a little tutorial on how I am using ChatGPT with different prompts to get much deeper than what you might otherwise think you can get out of the tool or AI by simply prompting it and get along. So I've already done the exercise. I figured rather than trying to go through it and record a longer video, I would just run through the prompts and show you the prompts, and then kind of share with you what I'm going to do next. I wanted to make this useful, so not just a dummy exercise. So I'm going to create a guide to the local ranking factors for 2022 because I've just recently released my new opinions on what the 2022 had for us in terms of local ranking factors and what was moving the needle in the map pack. So I released this the other day, and now I want to write a guide or an article to support it and just to kind of give more detail around what this really all means. So I'm going to use the Chat GPT tool to do that. And so I started off with my first prompt. What are the major types of local ranking factors or signals that influence Google's search algorithm? All right, I first wanted to see what knowledge does the AI already have on the topic. So it spit off 5 categories here, gave me some information here, good information for sure, but it was incomplete. I basically said then, please put these in a table and add a column for description. So I had to turn this list here that it wrote out and put it into a table, okay? This helps me kind of start to visualize it a little bit more myself. And then I said next, please add a new column for examples of each type of ranking factor category and give me at least 4 different examples of each type of ranking factor in the examples column. And so now it outputted now a new table with a new column for examples, and it listed some very accurate, very on point examples for each ranking factor. Now, at this point, it's a good table, it's a great start, but there are more factors, more categories, and I obviously have them right here that the Chat GPT tool missed on the first run. So now I just said add a new ranking factor category called reviews, add a description and at least 3 examples of how reviews are also local ranking factors. And so off it went. It rewrote what it already had, and then it added my new category and some examples. Now here's where I started to see it giving me repeated the same kind of text over and over again because I was starting to really push the limits of its knowledge around this particular topic. No problem. I can massage this later. I also said now add another ranking factor category called behavioral, add a description and at least 3 examples. And in this case, I coached it a little bit and I said how behavioral signals like traffic to the website, engagement, shares, and interaction with your Google listing and website pages are also local ranking factors. Okay, off it went, rewrote everything, added reviews in there, and then added the behavioral category. Okay, so I'm coaching it a little bit here. You can see it's Google may consider. So we're starting to get outside of its specific knowledge here, but it's still good and very helpful for me. And just took minutes. Another one I added was add another category called citations, add the description, give me some examples, off it went. And it was really good. Accurate consistent NAP information on other websites and online directories, citations on reputable websites, quality of inbound links to the business online profiles. All right, good stuff. Add another ranking factor category called EAT, add a description of what EAT stands for and at least 3 examples of experience, expertise, authority, and trust signals that can be generated to positively influence your search rankings. A little coaching there again. Off it went. Gave me some really good information there. Now I've got more of a complete table that really represents the real categories that exist and are influencing the map pack ranking or search results. So I've got a really good table here that I can really start with. I then started to kind of break the tool. I said add a new column labeled FAQs, and then in an NLP-friendly way, write FAQs related to each ranking factor category using the description and examples found in the table. It went off and started doing this pretty well, but then it just got stuck here and just wouldn't move on past prominence. Now, what I did then is I said, all right, I don't like this table. I want to kind of revert back to the table without the FAQs column, and boom, it went right back to the old table it had without the FAQs column. Didn't include the examples there, but I had that from a previous output, so no problem. Again, I'm going to use this, copy and paste it into a Google document for the ultimate guide to local ranking factors. So right now I'm just getting the output. I'm building out the framework, and this literally took me about 14 minutes, 15 minutes total to get all this output. So now I said, please use the table and the data in the description column and examples column to write a structured article using each local ranking factor category as its own section in the article, format the article as the ultimate guide to local ranking factors for 2022, and provide educational tips and strategies for each ranking factor category and the reader can use in their own search engine optimization strategy. So really specific task, instruction, or prompt, and off it went. And it wrote a pretty good article, but it stopped all of a sudden. So all I did was say continue. And off it went again, just continuing to write the article. And this happened a couple times where I had to just see, okay, continue. And it did continue to write the articles. Just if you see this happen and you start to really get deep into a topic and the input output of your input prompts and your output of the AI, if it gets stuck or it stops, you can see here, it did stop, but I just hit continue and it kept writing, even though it didn't really finish the last prompt. So this is where I'm starting to kind of break the tool. But what I'm using this for is to create a wireframe for an article, a guide, or a series. So I'll show you here in a moment how I can create a whole series. Now, actually, I don't have to even do that. I can go back up here to my table and show you this table. And now I've got an entire content series. I could write an article on relevance, an article on distance, and there's a whole series on local ranking factors if I wanted to write this in a series. Or I could write it in a really longer guide and put it into a comprehensive guide instead of a series. Or I could take the guide, use that as an ebook, and maybe free offer to give to people for exchange for an email or an opt-in or whatever it might be, and then take the guide and then write the series off the guide and use that on the blog, use it as press releases or whatever the case may be. So when you can get this type of output with the table, the description, the examples, you can actually put in FAQs. I think I was pushing the limits here with a lot of information, and it was just having a hard time keeping up with it. But you can see here, this is a great wireframe here for an article, for a writer to be able to have. Now, here I want you to write, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 articles on local ranking factors, with each category being an article to keep it highly relevant and concise and specific. But you can easily have a whole series of articles, or like in my case, a really cool guide that you can turn into an ebook, PDF, and even publish it on Amazon. Hope this short video helps you guys kind of look at how you can really prompt the AI ChatGPT tool to help you develop frameworks for content, or even just great pieces for your clients. Maybe aren't necessarily going to be used in SEO, but are going to be used to add value. Or in this case, in the use cases I'm especially using it in, is to really help me shortcut the time frame or the time it takes to create a content brief or to frame out an article, and then obviously write an article. Hopefully this helps, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Have a great day.